Lil Durk's federal case just hit a whole new level of chaos. So authorities are now requesting an anonymous jury after alleged threats against a judge and prosecutor. Prosecutors say the rapper tried to destroy an Apple Watch in jail to cover his tracks, and he's now being accused of allegedly taking out hits on his own oblock associates. With his trial currently set for January, the stakes couldn't be higher. We are going to break down all the latest updates in this case with a former federal prosecutor. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. All right, the Lil Durk case just took another wild turn, maybe series of turns is the best way to explain it. So federal prosecutors are now saying that the Chicago rapper, A, ordered hits on his own oblock associates for failing to retaliate after the death of fellow artist King Von. They are pushing for an anonymous jury, claiming that threats have already been made against both the judge and a prosecutor. And you add in the fact that Durk was allegedly caught with an Apple Watch in jail and tried to destroy it. So this case is now spiraling, right? What is going on here? How do we break it down? How did we get here? We're going to rewind for a second before we break down the new updates. So, Lil Durk, whose real name is Durk Derek Banks, is still being held in federal detention in Los Angeles following his October 2024 arrest. Prosecutors claim that Durk orchestrated a murder-for-hire plot back in 2022, sending members of his crew from Chicago to LA to target rapper Quando Rondo. That this was a form of retaliation, they say, for the 2020 killing of Durk's close friend, King Von. In the shooting that followed, though, Quando wasn't the one who died. It was actually his cousin, Savia Robinson, who was killed in what prosecutors are calling this ambush-style attack at a gas station. Now, Durk isn't accused of pulling the trigger himself. He is accused of ordering the hit, allegedly funding it and directing it. That is what landed him a stack of federal charges, including conspiracy, firearm offenses, murder for hire resulting in death. His defense has been very aggressive, though. One of the biggest moments in this case came earlier this year when Lil Durk's legal team filed a motion to dismiss the federal indictment entirely, or at the very least, forced prosecutors to turn over the grand jury materials that led to the indictment. Remember, grand jury materials are usually secret. But in that filing, Durk's attorneys argued that prosecutors misled the grand jury by presenting false and misleading evidence. Specifically, they mentioned one of Durk's songs, Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, which they claim was wrongly used to connect him to the 2022 murder-for-hire plot. The thing is, the argument they make, he had actually written the lyrics that prosecutors were citing months before the killing. The defense wrote in that filing, the only open question is how such patently false information came to be within the grand jury's purview to begin with. One answer is that the prosecutors who prepared and presented the government's evidence knew that the evidence was false. Another is that the prosecutor who presented the evidence did not know it to be false, but the witness who conveyed it did.